Zoom and YouTube will link together, preparing to live stream, setting up YouTube live. So anybody that wants to see what you're doing live can come in and do that. We know already that's happening. That's perfect. Okay. So today, I want to continue with collaboration tools. And we talked about hardware yesterday. And we also, this week, and I want to talk about software today as well. So, Connor, when you see me, right? And you see, I guess, depending on your view, how you decide to do Zoom, is you can have a gallery effect. Are you viewing via gallery, Connor? How are you viewing?
You're like kind of my big screen right now, and then I see other people in smaller boxes on top.
Okay, you can have in different ways. When you see me, do you see my control panel? Like down below my audio, when you go to your Zoom and you move your cursor to the bottom, what do you see on your bottom of your screen, Connor?
I see my control panel on the bottom.
Right, you see mine.
I don't know.
You don't. And when you record, let's say you want to teach people about Zoom, you don't see what's on the bottom there, right? You don't see everything. So what I want for our next assignments is thinking about other recording software that you can use in addition to Zoom. So if you're on a Zoom call, Connor, you can then record in the background what's happening, and you can also use other recording software to teach people about Zoom and show those controls. Everybody with it? Does that make sense, Connor?
Yeah, it does.
Okay, isn't that useful, right? If you want to teach somebody, also think about it, Connor. I'm recording now. How? To the cloud and to where? To
YouTube?
YouTube. You have to go afterwards. Do you have your own recording?
No, I'm not recording right now, so I don't have my own.
Sometimes what it would be nice is, and I host this, so I didn't give you permission to record to the cloud or to record. Sometimes you would like to record also. So it's nice having another software program, a screen recorder to record this meeting or other meetings you're in. Wouldn't that be useful?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think so.
Yeah, you don't, maybe not for this exact area because I'm providing it, but sometimes people record and they don't even provide it to you, or you have to be dependent upon them. So our next assignment is we'll be using recording software that is not Zoom, but we can use Zoom to be in the background and we can use it as a tutorial. Also, we can use Zoom to meet as a group, Connor, and you can have each person in your group come in and describe by sharing their screen about different screen recorders. Because you can think about it. Every software program has its what? It has its pluses, it has minuses. It can basically do different, it has different features that you need to get your job done. So what I would like you all to do, Connor, is to research and find other screen recorders. And I'd like you to find other screen recorders that you haven't used. Have you ever used, Connor, a screen recorder?
I think on my MacBook I've used like the built-in screen
QuickTime?
recorder.
Right. So what
Yeah.
I'd like is for you and then others, don't use QuickTime. Find something else that guess what? What's so fabulous about this class is you have an opportunity to have more in your tool chest. And to say, if it's there may be advantages to use others. So I'll describe to you, I use a program called MSN Recorder. And why do I like it? I always have it running, is that it records to first of all, I don't need the internet to start it. And two, I don't need to record to save it to the cloud. It records to my computer. And there's an advantage because I have already Zoom. Sometimes I don't have internet. And sometimes I just like, for another way to store it, I'd like to store it to my computer. It's almost like, you have Zoom, record to my computer, record to the cloud. I always record to the cloud. So you all have it and I don't have to take the extra step and upload it. You know now the differences, right, Connor? You know those differences. So that's how we operate. So we're going to have a two-part session, a two-part assignment where each of you will find a different screen recorder. And the criteria has to be, what do I like, Kristen? That it's free, right? I don't need you to pay for it, but it could be a different version, like Loom. Sometimes that's really good. It has a free version that, for instance, it only allows you to do 5 minutes versus the paid version allows you to do hours. So I have like the paid version of Loom so I can record my entire class. But sometimes, Kristen, it's nice just even to have a 5-minute recording because that's all you need to post it somewhere. You got it? So these are areas to record your screen that some also work on your phone. Sometimes you want to record what you're doing for an app on your phone as well. So that's going to be the next one to do. Okay. Also, what I'd like you to do every week, Allie, is to figure out what's happening in the news. Like yesterday, Apple came out with their own new phones, new watches. Did you see that, Lily? They also had they were trying to say that they're going to now check my blood pressure continuously. They're going to find out when, I fell down and, in the middle of the wilderness, somebody's going to come get me or whatever and pick me up. But what happened today? Anybody have any idea what was the major tech news for today? Raise your hand if you have a clue. Anyone? So Connor, did you have a clue what happened today?
It was about Oracle.
Oracle. What happened with Oracle?
I think they had an earnings report and they beat earnings. They showed a big backlog of demand for products related to AI.
Okay. What was the real, you are correct, but what really thing? So what I'd like to do is I'd like to go to, you remember last time, Connor, is I said that everybody, and this should be done if you haven't done that. Aaliyah, have you signed up for the Wall Street Journal? If you haven't, you need to go with
I had an account.
Good.
I registered an account last year when I just.
Okay, so anyway, so continue doing that. So on the Wall Street Journal, what I like to do is I like to go to tech always, and I'd like to go to AI. And if you notice here, under artificial intelligence, you see this on the side, Lily, it says iPhone 7 Pro and iPhone Air versus older, how your phones compare. They do this, but this is the big thing. And the big thing, the exclusive is, you know who this guy is? You have any idea, Lily Jane? Welsh. This is the Oracle chairman, Larry Ellison. Have you ever heard of him, Lily?
Yeah, I've heard them.
He now is richer than Elon Musk today. Amazing, huh? And Oracle and OpenAI, and where is coming? And in this case, if I think about it, Allie, what is OpenAI? Have you ever heard of OpenAI, Allie?
No,
No?
no.
Have you, Adam?
Yes.
What is it famous for?
ChatGPT.
ChatGPT. And Allie, I'm sure you've heard of ChatGPT, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, the company for ChatGPT is called OpenAI. Look at this. Oracle and OpenAI sound a massive $300 billion with a big cloud computing deal. And the majority of the new revenue will come from the OpenAI deal. So their stock today, do you see this, Luke, went up how much?
35.95%.
Is that a lot?
Yeah, it's
One
huge.
day? What
Yeah, it's
major are
huge.
you, Luke?
A finance major.
Yeah, that's amazing, isn't it? So you think about Oracle going up 35% in today because basically the deal is one of the largest cloud contracts ever for an AI data center. So basically, the idea is what, Lou, is that Oracle company is going to then provide cloud services to all the AI data centers for OpenAI, or a big part of it. And one of the things that the Oracle contract, you say, oh, what's 4.5 gigahertz of power? That's four, or the amount consumed by 4 million homes. Isn't that incredible? Look, they think 4 million homes are equivalent to how much power Oracle is going to be. And it went as much as 43. And their CEO, Safra Katz, who, by the way, lives in South Florida. Maybe we'll have her come to the class. It'd be neat, huh? And guess what? What she used to be, Luke, is she used to be the CFO, the Chief Financial Officer of Google. So you can see why finance is so important. Then they, Oracle had her to be the CEO. So it's not bad. So now Elon, now the richest person here, he got, can you imagine? He got more than 100 billion. Jesus, I don't even know what that means anymore. But basically here, that commitment is here that you can see here this article. So I've put this article in for you to read, which is interesting on how OpenAI and Microsoft and Amazon and Meta are working in this process of Google. So this is what I'd like you to read, is that article. And Lily, is that article on, I think Daniel put it up for us to read for the next assignment. No, yes?
I believe it's on. I can check.
What?
I
And
believe it's on. I can check.
yeah, check. And the other thing that I hear, that's what I'd like you to do. You see that, to get some more understanding of it, Connor. It's good that you realize it, but it's good, like before the class, at least, 5 minutes before, is everybody, I like the Wall Street Journal in their tech AI section. I think they do a really good job. And they also kind of blend it with, of course, finance, which we really want to talk about. And notice it's Oracle's now the new NVIDIA. It's really going up like crazy. And here you can read about other things. There's, NVIDIA and things like that, hardware. But what else I like to look at is this article right here. It's not this one, Salesforce. Is this one. And this one is how the AI boom is leaving consultants behind. And there's a lot of consulting companies that basically their idea is thinking about it this way. AI has really geared up, and there's so much, besides hype, it's really like a super cycle here of so much new technology. So consultants think they have a lot to gain to help companies deploy most of this transformative technology. And that's what we're going to do in this class is I'm having you experience all this technology is after the first exam, we're all going to be in your groups we're all going to be AI consultants in different areas to give services. And this one is interesting. Some clients say so far, these consultant companies have overpromised and underdelivered. And why is that the case? It's the case because things are happening so fast. And these companies say, oh, we can help you. And guess what? They don't know much. And I love this. Do you see this, Connor? Read me this headline.
Consultants versus the kid in college.
Yeah, and that's you. That basically what they're saying is these consultants that maybe have 20, 25 years of experience, they know about the enterprise, they know about programming, they know about databases, but all this AI is completely new to them. And you guys know more than almost they do. So what I want us to do is it's almost like a level playing field that it's never been before. So these guys have said that if we go hire a consultant, right? They said, if you go hire a consultant, help me figure out how to use Gemini or Claude Code, you're going to find a partner of the big four has no more or less experience than a kid in college who tried to use it. I'm saying he's referring to generative AI tools from Google and Anthropic. I'm saying that big four partner, hopefully by what we're doing in these classes, is that you'll have more experience. So this was kind of like an interesting articles that there's a lot of demand, but all of a sudden they're saying, oh, we can do all this for you. And it's not so easy because it's all so new. So I'd like you to read this article. And let's see if it's in our notes. So what's your impression, Connor? You see? One is that now you have more of an understanding of why that Oracle went so high is basically OpenAI said, provide our services in the cloud. When you do any of those AI services for ChatGPT, they're not doing it on their own, PC, right? They need to have huge amounts of data where in servers, and what does the cloud mean? Is that they reach it via a browser. So they have all these data centers, and somewhere it's going to have to store all this data and all these algorithms. It's amazing. And that article, I love that article, kids in college, right? That's you guys, right? And where has it been that you can be on that same playing field? It's enormous excitement there that you can do that. Okay, so let's share. Let's go to our center here. I'm in J, right? So what do I want to do first? I want to go to what's new, right? Aaliyah. So in this case, I know today was software, right? And communication skills. So Aaliyah, did you do that with your group, the communication skills? Anything that you thought was that you learned or you think that is useful from that assignment?
Yeah, I think the best part that we learned was the remote control.
Amazing, huh?
It's pretty cool, yeah.
And do you have to be in the same room to do remote control? No, you can do it anywhere in the world, right? And you're stuck somewhere and you can give that service. Or when you're stuck, help me find out. And they say, well, I don't know how to do that. And you said, here, what can you do, Aaliyah? Is you said, let me invite you to a Zoom session. You're the technical expert. I'll invite you to my Zoom session. I'll give you remote control access. You can get onto my computer. Or you can get that service. Incredible. You didn't know. Okay, fantastic. So what's our assignment for next Wednesday? Our assignment next Wednesday is 2 parts. One is chapter 5, which is data and knowledge management. And the other, the readings, the adaptive assignments, the quizzes. And these are the links that I want you to reread, Allie, so you can see. And now when you read it and it says basically 300 billion computing from OpenAI, you know that, Allie, OpenAI is from ChatGPT. So you think storing all that data, they're giving it 300 billion with a B. It is amazing that their stock went up 35%. So read through those 2 articles. And in this case, Daniel, where do I find out you can see that I have my audit assignments, which is screen recording assignments. So what do you need to do with screen recording assignments? Even before I go that, I can do best free screen, and you can do it. You can do it in anything. Screen recorder. And notice it says here for the PC or for the Mac or for Windows or Windows 11. What are all these? Why do they say that? Daniel, why does it say right now? Google search is kind of giving me in their cache, telling me the best screen recorder for PC, Mac, Windows, or Windows 11. Why are they telling me that rather than best free screen recorder? What do you think?
Because it probably depends on which computer you have, like which one works better.
Yeah, and what does that depend on? Why are they saying PC, Mac, Windows, Windows 11?
They're different brands. Like
Different
one's
brands of
Apple,
what?
one's
They're
Microsoft.
different brands of what? They're different
Computers.
brands of what?
Of computers.
Of computers? What do you think, David Smith? Why did they say here best screen recorder for Mac, Windows 11?
Because maybe the different like screen recording systems pair up better with like
The what?
the software on the different computers.
What kind of software are they talking about? Brooks, what kind of software are they talking about when they say Windows and for Mac?
What kind of software?
What is Windows and Windows? This is
Like just like you mean like a software as a service?
no, I mean this. An operating system.
Oh, like an operate. Oh yeah. Okay, sorry.
When I have an operating system, right? Yeah. When I have an operating system, look here. This is from TG2. Do you see this, Brooks? I have hardware here. And what hardware do you have in front of you? You have a computer in front of you?
Yes.
What computer do you have?
MacBook.
A MacBook. That's the hardware. Everybody clear there? That's the hardware. And then in order to run the hardware, you need what they call system software or the operating system. Everybody put this in your notes. System software, operating system is needed to run hardware. You cannot run any hardware without system software. And the system software basically connects with application software and allows a version that resides on my hard drive of, let's say, Excel to be copied to my memory. And if I need to download some software, that's done by the system software. If I need to save a file to my disk, that's done by system software. If I need to, say, upload something to my external drive, it's done by system software. So all of this operating system is related to hardware, and application software is examples like Excel, PowerPoint, have you ever heard of the word, Katie, apps? Of course, apps are like application software. So the idea here, this is great, operating system is dependent. It depends on what's installed on my hardware. And usually when you buy a computer, the hardware, it automatically has the operating system on it. Everybody clear? Kristen, does that make sense? So my question to you, before we even consider going to screen software, the screen software there, many times, if I wanted to save to my computer, the application software, like the screen software, has to match my operating systems that I have in my computer. So number one, and this is for everybody to do this exercise, we got to figure out what operating system we have on our hardware, on our computer. Do you understand that, Anastasia?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Right? We always, right? I don't even tell these people. So in this case, what I need to do is I want everybody now, I'm going to basically call on people, tell me what operating system you have on your computer. And if you don't know how to find it, what do? You look. Everybody understand what I need to do? Tate, do you understand? Tate, are you on your phone? You need to be on a computer. Do you have a computer nearby?
I'm actually on my mini iPad, but my computer's in
Okay, so let's go and do you have a computer?
so I don't. I just said it's at the Apple Store.
What?
It's
Okay,
at the
so
Apple Store.
okay, all right. So everybody, what I want you to do, and everybody, of course, needs to, I don't need to say this, is everybody tell me, you understand, what operating system you have. You remember last time we had to find out how much RAM, you remember that, Allie? How much RAM we had, how much memory we had, how much hard drive, what was our primary storage, what was our secondary storage? Do you remember that, Allie?
Yes.
So now what I want to do is everybody has to search on your computer, not somebody else's computer. What operating system do you have on your computer? And then we'll figure out why that matters. Because all the time, all these facts, guess what, Connor? AI is going to do that, right? But one of the questions we need to know is who cares? Why do we need to do that for ourselves when we're going to consult with businesses? What operating systems their group has? Or we're going to sell something. What do I care what operating system anybody has? We're just going to create some apps, right, Connor? And we're going to be really successful. Do we even really care what operating systems there's out there? We do, because if the software doesn't match my operating system, it won't work. So raise your hand if you found it. Okay, Kristen, what do you have?
I have Mac OS.
You have one is Mac OS. So you have Mac, meaning that looks like that is your computer's name. And what does OS stand for?
OS is operating system.
Look at that. OS is operating system, right? And what version? You have to find out the version. Who found their version? Raise your hand if you found the version. Okay, Maya, what did you get?
I have Mac OS Sequoia 15.6.
Okay, Sequoia 15.6. Okay. Who else? Raise your hand if you found it.
I also have the same kind.
Okay, you have the same kind because it's important. Just to say you have Mac OS is not enough. It's better than others, but it's not enough. Perfect. Who else? Raise your hand. Okay, Connor, what do you got?
Windows 11 Pro.
Windows 11. Okay, perfect, Connor. It's like we rehearsed it. What kind of hardware do you have? What's the
It's a
computer's name?
it's a
The brand.
ThinkPad.
You're a ThinkPad. So, okay, Lenovo?
Yeah, I think
Okay,
so.
he has Lenovo. Anyone else have a Windows operating system? Raise your hand. No one else? Okay, so this is the question. So let's use Kristen and Connors as examples. We've already found how much primary storage you have, how much memory you have, and what your hard drive. So my question now to everyone is, they are on our team. We're developing some software. We're going to develop some apps. Do we care that Connor has a Windows and Kristen has a Mac OS operating system, Sequoia 15.6? Why do we care? Everybody understand my question? Cheyenne, do you understand my question? Repeat my question. Cheyenne, do you want to unmic yourself?
Can you repeat the question? Sorry, I didn't hear
Yeah,
it.
right. So I need to have that question. What was my question? Who can repeat it?
If you were like had a team and they had the different softwares, the Windows and the Mac one, and you're developing an app, I think you said, does it matter that they have those different
Right.
software?
Or we're in a finance group, right? Accounting, and we're trying to analyze different investments. And we're using some software. Does it matter? Do you understand, Shine? Does it matter that Connor has a Windows operating system and Kristen has a Mac OS? Now, do you understand the question?
Will you ask the question?
Question. What?
I was wondering who you're asking.
No, right now I'm just making sure everybody understands the question. Now the question is, and this is what's interesting. We can work with AI to figure out what the results are, but this is what somebody's going to ask me. This is what you're going to have to defend, right, David, when you're going to say, we need some more hardware. And somebody said, what kind of hardware and what kind of operating system? And David, you said, I don't have a clue. Right? You don't want to be that person. And then they say, oh, I need to have everybody have Windows. And somebody's going to say, why? Or I need Connor to switch to we can't use Connor. We're going to get him a new computer. We got to get him another operating system. That's the key. Any ideas? What is important is software that's developed has to match. So Connor, what do you want to chime in there? And we'll see.
Oh, I thought you were asking for an answer.
Yeah.
I was just going to say that different operating systems operate the computer's hardware differently. So you need to code the app differently for each operating system.
Basically, what you need to know is this. Software is written for a certain operating system. So in this case, who has used Microsoft's, let's say, Excel? Everybody has, right? We can assume. The question is, Connors has Windows 11. Is his version, do you understand this, Cheyenne? Is his version, do we have to buy him another version of Excel versus everybody else that has Macs? Repeat the question, Cheyenne, to make sure that you can hear me.
We were speaking about the fact that the different softwares would need the different application. For example, Microsoft Excel would need a different version for a different device.
Different operating system.
Yes.
Not necessarily a device, but a different operating system. So that's important to be familiar with why we need an operating system, that if we're creating apps, And we know that sometimes Microsoft, what they did originally, they only created their Office suite for Windows. Why? Because they own Windows and they wanted everybody to buy Windows, and they basically even had, and then any vendor that uses Windows, guess what? Cheyenne pays them. So at first they made sure that the individual would buy from them. And then they saw, hey, Adam, guess what? A lot of people have Macs. Do we want to lose that community? They're in for business. They say, okay, we'll make another version for Macs, but it's another version. But guess what Microsoft does? They still want that little edge. So they said, for the Windows version, we'll make it we'll use more features than for the Mac version. And guess what, Cheyenne? What you can do if you wanted to use those Windows version is that you can run on the same computer, you can run 2 operating systems. So that is the key. Think about this, your phone. How many people have iPhones? Right? Who has something other than an iPhone? Anyone have anything other than an iPhone? What does the iPhone have an operating system? What do you think, Luke?
Can you repeat the question?
Question? At least you heard your name.
What was that? You cut out.
I cut out, or you cut out. We both cut out. So what's the question, Daniel?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
Yeah. Okay. It's hard. I know. And you know, it's hard when you know what, Luke, if I were in my relax, you would have to, I'd be cut out. I'd be snoring. So I heard that I snore. So maybe you have to turn me to my side or something. But the idea here is what? My question is, does your phone have an operating system? What do you think, David Camacho? Does your phone have an operating system?
I think so.
You think so? It has to. Does it work as a device? Can you run applications on it? Of course
Yeah.
you can. You can even be on this call, right? So of course it does. What is the name of your operating system? Everybody tell me, what's the name of your operating system on your iPhone? Anastasia.
Is it called iOS?
It's called iOS. What do you think, Anastasia, OS stands for?
OS stands for operating system.
Right. And it's basically, you have iOS. Has anybody ever heard of Android? What is that, Connor? Android. Have you ever heard of Android?
I actually don't know.
Okay.
Well, I know what Android is. I don't know what the operating system is.
Android is the name of the operating system.
Oh,
Okay, good. So Android is the name of the operating system. So guess what? Many apps work on Android and they work on iOS. Are they different? No, they are different, but it could be the same one. So if I'm going to download an app, they have to have different operating systems. So it can be the same type, but I have to get my designer. And sometimes, Connor, what they'll do, since, let's say in the United States, iOS is more popular. What kind of phone do you have, Connor?
I have an Apple phone.
You have an Apple phone. You have an iOS, but you have a Windows computer, right? A Windows operating system. So the idea here is, if we were going to start an app in the United States, we'd probably start with iOS first, because majority of people have the iPhone. But in other parts of the world, Android is more popular. You understand? So it depends on the operating system. Everybody understand that? And the application, or when you think about all your apps that you have, or applications, that's when you have it. So when I now going back, Connor, now going back, sharing, my screen and talking about my systems and my operating systems. And now when I say best screen recorder, you see that, Valeria? And it says PC, Mac, Windows, and 11. They're looking for the operating system that you have on your computer. So Valeria, what type of computer do you have?
So basically every 7 months.
What, Valeria?
As the counts.
I have a Mac.
Yeah.
You have a Mac, right? So you would look for best screen recorder for Mac. Or if in this case, it would be then, Connor, for Windows 11. And then when I look for the best screen recorder, I'm just going to do the best screen free recorders. This is a list, and there are many more of best screen recorders. Many of you have, for instance, built into your Mac, a software is that you have QuickTime. If you've used QuickTime, I'd like you to choose another. So if I look at this now and I go to what's due, you can see that what's due is I have a screen recorder assignment parts 1 and 2, where I have part 1 is I want each person in your group to find a compatible screen recorder program. And then when you find that screen recorder program, using that screen recorder program, I want you to do a tutorial on the pros of how to use that screen recorder program and how it works. And what I'd like, you remember, Connor, where I said that I have Zoom controls, I'd like you to open up Zoom and use the screen recorder to even show how you can record all your controls. And then talk about using your face, your audio and video, and sharing your screen with the screen recorder, how the screen recorder works. Sometimes you will get a screen recorder that will save in your computer, and others you'll get a screen recorder that you save to the class. So if I go to audit assignment instructions, you see that, David Solomon? You see that? We're under assignment 3. You'll see 2 parts. One is doing the individual screen, and the other one is the group screen recording demonstration. So if I look at the individual, everyone will choose a different one. The whole video should be under 10 minutes. It goes through just like you had before. Each member in the group should choose a different program, select a free screen recording. These are just examples, but I would choose something. If you've used QuickTime already and you know how to do it, search to find a free one, set it up to record the whole screen, audio and video, and then basically start the Zoom meeting, showcase some of the features on Zoom, and then you'll use another recording to talk about your recording software. And then the second part is this one, is you meet as a group, and each of you in the group will talk about and share, not only talk and show the advantages and disadvantages of your screen recording software. What's the advantage that everybody have something different? David Smith?
You get to learn something new about somebody
You
else's.
basically have four, let's say 4 people, you have 4 tools, and you'll see what each one's going to have. You know, it's a competitive market. Each one wants to compete and have different features. For different type of scenario, one program is going to be better than the other. And what I like a lot of times, David, is when even I host my own Zoom, I'd like to have another screen recorder as a backup to record to my own computer. Questions? So, Joe, does that make sense? Joseph?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Another thing in my toolkit, right?
Yeah.
Screen recorders that I have. So when you have something that's not, and why do I want to do it? To teach somebody something, and I can have like a 5-minute thing. Sometimes I want it. Sometimes I don't even need to have internet access. Sometimes I want to save it for myself. Sometimes I want to do for tech. A lot of times it will be, from now on, it will be not acceptable, Joe, to say, I tried the assignment and it didn't work.
Got
You
it.
know that, right? What
Yeah.
would you want to, what would you want from somebody in your group that you needed to help? Well, what was the problem? Right? Record what the
Yeah.
problem is. And then you could, and Joe, if you couldn't figure it out and I couldn't figure it out, then we'd find somebody else to figure it out. Or maybe there's a bug in the program, right? Everything's new here. That's this whole, what I'm trying to teach you is how the human can work with AI. And the way the human can work with AI is we have our own creativity and we need to document what we have. And if we don't, then we're in trouble here. But at least we've already seen, hey, these are the issues. And then we can tell somebody, you know, this software isn't working correctly. Or, you know, we tried to solve this problem in Excel and got stuck. Or we tried to do some investment planning and we're having some issues. Are we always going to have issues with hardware and software? Of course. And sometimes with hardware, what we can do is I can get my meta glasses and I can even record what's not within my screen, but outside my computer. Right? And then I can upload it and share it. Neat, huh? So now what we want to do, Lily, is let's do like 10 minutes. I want you to meet in groups. Lily and I will meet with each group, and what you need to do is one, you got to decide when you're going to meet, of course, and 2 is start reviewing screen recorders and decide what, Alicia, that you don't want everybody to do the same, and everyone say, oh, I'll do this one, or later on you may even say, hey, I looked at 2 or 3 and this is my favorite. Christian, you don't have to be hooked to one tonight. But at least you want to start with, I'll try these out. You know, once you research it, Luke, you can try out, you can say, I want to research these 3, and I'll pick one of them that I think is best. I think that's the best, not getting stuck with it. Questions? So I want to, let's do this. Then we'll come back and we'll do attendance. And then I'll stay with you as long as you need. Right, Kristen? So we can answer all the questions. So it's clear. You understand what do we need to do? And then it's fun. You want to just read, you know, the book all the time and take, you know, and not get your hands dirty. Then we'll be like those consultants, right? That we're charging them and they say, of course you can't help us. You don't know anything to help. Okay. So you want to set up the breakout rooms, Lily?
I'm trying to right now, but my computer isn't working, so I had to join on my iPad and I can't figure it out.
So how many do we have? We have 10?
Yeah, 10 groups.
Okay, so let me see if I can do it. Okay. All right. All right. So let me see. Assign automatically. I want to assign manually, right? Oh no, let participants choose room.
Right.
Okay, open all rooms. Okay, so go into your group number. And we'll get going. And then Lily and I'll come, and then we'll retreat back. You got it?
I don't know why it didn't show up for me.
I don't know. Stuff happens.
Not
That's why
showing up.
we have backup, right? Then we
Right.
have co-hosts.
Maybe it's only for hosts that can make breakout rooms. Because I saw that was co-hosts and
Yeah, it should. No, you should be able to, right?
yeah, but I can join all the rooms, but I don't know why it wouldn't allow me to make them.
Okay, we'll see. Because Daniel was a co-host and he was able to do it.
Probably the different software, maybe. Zoom is different on.
Yeah, who knows? Different version of. Okay, so let's get everybody else. And can you assign people?
No, it's only I can join.
Okay, so let me just see here. Does everybody who is it? Aaliyah, are you in a group? Aaliyah, you hear me?
I'm the first group, but I didn't get an invitation to join the
Okay, I'm
breakout
putting
room.
you in. Okay, group 1, Aaliyah.
Okay.
Okay. And Daniel, what group are you?
4.
Okay, I'm gonna assign you to room 4. Okay. And Miller? Okay. And Ian?
I'm group 5.
Okay, Ian, what's going on with your camera? It wasn't working today or what?
No, I just had to get some stuff.
Okay.
But my camera's fine, yeah.
Okay, good. Okay. Your group what, Ian? 5?
Yeah, I'm group 5.
Okay.
I'm group 2.
Okay. You in? Benjamin.
I think he's in.
Yeah. Even though I see him.
I'm not gonna. I apologize. I'm not gonna join from this type of software anymore. I don't know. I'm not gonna join. I'm gonna make sure my computer's working before class. I apologize.
No, it's okay.
I crashed my computer using SQL. Doing a homework, so I'm at school now. So but I can join the room starting.
You can join the rooms. Okay, that's the main thing. And then figure out what was the reason. And how did you join? Did you join through Blackboard or did you join?
No, I joined through Blackboard.
Okay, so
like on the
see you
Zoom.
next time. It's not a big deal. The beauty, that's the beauty, right, Lily? So
Yeah, I mean, I already figured out I can still do attendance, so I'll be able to do that.
Okay.
Yeah, I can.
No, you should be able to do
all of it.
You're a co-host. That's
right.
Now, but you can join a group. You're a co-host. So co-host means we're co-equal.
Right.
So it's not like I'm host and you're my sub-host.
Right. I think it's just the different.
Whatever it is. And let's not worry about that. Okay, so you want top or you want bottom?
I'll take the top. I'll start group 1.
Okay, you'll do group 1. I'll do it. And just get them that they know that last time I told you they picked out 2 or 3. Nobody knew to say, hey, maybe I'll Google it and find other ones. They said, what other ones do we need? I mean, they need to be like spoon-fed. You know what I mean? It's like,
right.
So you got to get them in the mood that the beauty here is they can explore and even explore more than one and then choose one rather than.
Or introduce a new one to like the
and
class.
Definitely if they've used QuickTime, don't use QuickTime. You know what I mean? And then to think about it as a tutorial and explore how you're using this, Okay. So we'll do that. We'll just even do, like 5 or, you know what I mean? Just a couple of minutes and then we'll take, you have to go too, right?
Yeah, I have sector updates tonight that I have to get to, so.
Yeah, so let's just do 5 minutes, you know what I mean? Just go quicker.
I'll go quicker.
Go quicker and, now they know how to do it too. That's the beauty, you know what I mean? They at least know how to, I think all the groups are doing it. And we'll talk more about the other stuff about, getting these guys in line. But I think you're basically your helicopter parenting, I think, is working.
Yeah, I got a lot of
Sometimes
calls last night about the Zoom group assignment, so
yeah, but we need to get them up, and that's my hypothesis. If we get them up and running with some things, we can set them free.
right,
Maybe.
maybe. All right, I'll join group 1 now. You want me to set the attendance code up now?
Perfect. This way you can add in, and then if anybody has any issues. Yeah, start sharing, and then when everybody has it, and then put the be so kind, Lily, and put the code in the chat as well. Because some
Do you see my screen?
no,
No?
it's funky, your screen.
Hmm.
It's real funky. I'm seeing now.
Do you
I
see it now?
Yeah. I
Okay.
see.
All right. I put the code in chat.
Okay, put the code down. Now you can stop. You can stop sharing. There's no reason.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of funky, your computer today. I don't know what happened.
Oh God, now it's like, oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not gonna use it anymore.
Is this a different computer or what?
It's Mac. I think it's my thing's just weird. I'm just gonna go back to using my Windows.
Okay, whatever it is, whatever did it work better before, you know what I mean? But this is getting
Yeah, I'm not gonna use. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna use it
it,
anymore.
it doesn't matter, but it's kind of funny, you know.
Yeah.
It happens. That's we can document it though. See, we have it recorded.
Yeah.
We can give it to somebody, right? Okay,
Right.
guys, everybody set in their attendance. Otherwise, I'll see you already on Monday. This is due on Wednesday, but you know the drill. The earlier you get it in, the less stress. Right, Anna? We don't need stress. We got enough stress. We don't need to add more.
Majority of the groups that I talked to were already setting up times to meet, so that was good.
Everybody was, I think. Joe, right? Joe, you have a question? I think everybody was. I think once everybody got that assignment, the group assignment, they're used to it now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And Dr. Rush, do you see how my screen follows me?
Yeah.
Isn't that so weird?
But I think it's good. It keeps you in the middle.
I don't. Oh
or,
my God.
Or you can get dizzy.
Yeah. I noticed that as I first joined that it just kept following me, like made me in the middle.
Right. I think that the iPhone is going to do that too. You know, the new iPhones that it'll always center you and all those things. Okay, so at least hopefully you're learning something, I think, on leadership. I don't know what you're learning, but
No, I definitely am. Especially talking with all the other groups and like writing out like being stern when I have to be, because I try and be as to relate to them as much as I can.
no, that's why I want the teaching assistants, that you know them more, but you have to learn how, you know, if you say, oh, you can do this, you can do that, you know, they'll walk right over you. You know what I mean? It's just
right.
And not even that, it's that thing again. Usually in the past have said, you know, they don't get it. It's their, you know, it's their loss. But I'm switching my approach this semester and say, well, maybe they can get it, but it's just like, maybe if we can get them over that hurdle.
Right. Did Daniel show you my email structure that I sent to all the students that were 16 below? All right. He liked it a lot.
Good.
He actually used Isa copy and pasted mine.
Good. So that's what I'm saying. Because you know what I mean? There's no doubt that he's exceptional, Daniel, but you have your own strengths as well. And what happens with, you know, I do a lot of mentoring, especially mentoring with women, and we tend to kind of not be as assertive as we need to. And you have a lot of ideas too, and try it out, and then they're open, and the men will be happy to use your stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm just saying, you know, I have the most respect for both of you. We chose you for and I'm just giving you feedback that today, Dan, I can share this with you. Daniel says, I said something about, well, you know, I need to tell Lily this, you know, since I'm alone with her. And he goes, well, she's done a fabulous job. So he sees it too. You know what I mean? And he's quite critical too. You know what I mean, Daniel? He doesn't put up with a lot. You know what I mean? So I just wanted to say for both of us, the only thing you need is, and when do you get more self-confidence? When you practice it more.
Right.
That's when it comes, you know what I mean? Like with anything. And that's the only thing that sometimes, when you're tentative, other people think, oh, maybe she doesn't know, but it's rather, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm forwarding you my email structure that I
Good,
sent
good,
over.
good. I like to see it. We can almost use that as one of our best practices.
Yeah. You
For the
do
next semester.
your srush@gmail.com, right? Not the school email.
I use both, but a lot of times just easy for me just to use the Gmail.
Okay, I sent
They
to the
both,
Gmail.
whenever it goes to miami.edu, it comes to my DRS Rush. And a lot of times, since I have a lot of things coming into it, I just respond from the DRS Rush, the Gmail account. So either one doesn't matter. They both come
Okay.
to me.
And you got a notification that I changed my number, right? Or no? Did WhatsApp not tell you?
No.
Oh, okay. That's
Okay.
funny.
Well, that didn't tell me, no. But did it get changed in the TA group?
Yeah, it did. I changed it through the WhatsApp.
Okay, do I have a
It
direct?
added-
Okay, good. I didn't see, I haven't looked at my phone for the WhatsApp. So all I did is when I sent a note, usually I don't, but I sent a note to the TAs.
Yeah, for the notebook LM assignment.
Yeah.
To add
I
extra.
think and look at that and see how that can be, they're changing this all the time. Supposedly today they made changes. I don't even know if it's been implemented. Sometimes
Right.
it takes a day or so. Whatever they say has been implemented doesn't mean that we get it.
And I've been using Gemini instead of ChatGPT.
I have too.
And I found that when it comes to doing code, Gemini is not as good as ChatGPT.
Yeah, right.
Like answering questions on SQL.
Yeah.
Gemini is not.
Right.
They don't know what they're talking about.
So that's what you want to do that's why you want to have a load of these tools that each one is for good. Sometimes, if it's a Google product, I'll go to Gemini.
Right.
Because I say that Gemini should know its product. I forgot the other day what it was I was going into Meet. They asked me to be a speaker instead of Zoom Meet, and all of a sudden it just said, I think it said no, it had my Gmail thing where it says DRS Rush, and people needed to know my full name. And I said, well, I'll just rename it just like Zoom. And I couldn't. I had to go back to my Google account, and where you have the profile of the name. I had to change my name. And I didn't know, but it was so clumsy, that Google really wants to hook you into your account.
Right.
Okay, I'll let you
Also,
go.
Well, I also want to tell you that Gemini corrects itself a lot when I ask it questions. Like it'd give me a response and then it'd say, oops, actually I'm wrong, and then give me a different response.
Usually it used to be what I say is I used to tell them either was ChatGPT or Gemini or others. Said that's not correct. And then I tell them what it was, and then they would usually say, oh, you're right. But it's good that, you know what I mean? I would have to correct them. I do it with the physicians I'm working with. And, they were saying, something about one of the therapies, and they said, oh, this is not good. And then we corrected and said, no, that's old research. This is the new research. And they go, oh, you're right. And then they would go into it. You almost have to steer it. Oh, we'll go down that path, because it's really dumb in that case. It's just doing predictive, it's just predicting what it's supposed to be, but it's going to get smarter than all of us.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna go now. But I'll see
go
you.
now. We'll talk to you, and then move with it. I already got dizzy. See, when I do it, look.
It doesn't do anything.
I cover my face. Okay.
And like if I zoom out, then if I zoom in,
wow,
it gets like all